Hello lovely wild hearts, it's Lisa here. How are you doing? I thought we'd have a bit of fun today and we would work out what your journaling archetype is. So if you've been following me on this channel for some time, you know that I'm crazy mad about journaling as a tool to heal from trauma, but also as a tool for getting to know yourself, for growing your self-awareness, for self-discovery, for self-development and all that good stuff, which enhances your self-trust, your self-esteem, your self-confidence, your self-worth, all the self things. So it's all about getting to know lovely you. And if you struggle to put yourself first, like I do, if you're a people pleaser or codependent, then I'm not tutting at you. I'm just saying it sucks to be one because it's so hard to put yourself first. But journaling is the way that I bring myself to the day by putting myself first. I'll sit down with some hot water or a cup of tea and I'll pull some tarot cards and I will journal. And this is sort of one of many in a little series that I've done about journaling. So I may well put them into a playlist for you. So what is your journaling archetype? This week I asked my lovely journaling community, that's you, what type of journaler are you? And then I offered them 7 different archetypes. I'm sure you'll be able to spot yourself in there. If you play along, you'll also get my personalised tips and advice for your archetype. I've been journaling for years, mostly for self-discovery, as I've just said, but also as a tool for healing from general anxiety and childhood trauma. I'm trained to use journaling as a therapeutic tool. I'm trained in what's called the Gestalt therapy approach to journaling, which is about journaling from the voices of objects or colours or using symbolism. It's great for highly sensitives because it requires a high degree of empathy and self-reflection, which is what we excel in. So it's almost like taking our strengths and using them to our advantage. So remember to type your results in the comments below. Yes, please put your archetype in the comments below. I'd love to know what archetype you are, and if you like this video, please give it a like, because that helps me find other people who are seeking help, highly sensitives who are looking to heal or on the healing path, or are seekers. We're all very curious. I read them all and I will reply. Right, here we go. So are you Nora Newbie? You've never journaled and you're here to learn as much as possible. Okay, maybe you tried it a few times, like back in the day you kept a diary that contained the latest dramas and all your teen angst, but you never got beyond the first few pages. You were young and having fun, and now everyone's talking about journaling. You realise there are so many benefits to journaling and you're excited to learn more and give it your best shot. So my journaling tip for you is to listen to an episode of the Wildheart Diaries, which is my podcast, and find out more about how journaling can help you take better care of your mental and emotional well-being. I will put the link to this full blog post below so that you've got all the links within it, and also the link to the podcast. I mean, lots of you listen to my podcast already and tell me that it's helpful. But I think in this day and age where we're always on our devices, on our phones and our iPads, and you know, we don't often pick up books or pick up pens, and I think there's something really powerful about putting that pen on the page. It is for me. I almost feel like I can dump my angst on the page and then get to the voice of my higher self, which wants the best for me. Most podcast episodes have journal prompts in them to get you thinking, which is why I made you a pretty podcast notepad that's free. So I would download the pretty podcast notepad, start listening to the Wildheart Diaries if you're a newbie, and you will notice how easy it is. And it's very, it can be quite confronting to see your own thoughts in black and white on the page, but the truth sets you free, as they say. It's nothing to be scared of, is it? They're just thoughts. Doesn't mean that they're facts. Or are you number 2? So that's number 1. Number 2, SOS Suzie. You only get your journal out in an absolute emergency. It would have to be a ginormous crisis that brings up all your big emotions. You don't really pay attention to your feelings until they get so big that they get your attention. Perhaps you've gone through a bad breakup, your beloved pet has died, or your mum is giving you the silent treatment again. I feel you. You vaguely remember a video you saw on YouTube that told you to take back your power and journal it out. Hopefully it was one of mine. Otherwise, you just keep calm and carry on with life until it all gets too much. So my question to you is, why, and it's a journaling prompt as well, why do I hold on to my feelings and let them build up until they get to crisis point? Now, if you don't like writing, so if you've got learning difficulties, or you're just not a fan of writing, then I have got an episode of the Wildheart Diaries, which is about rambling, which is really just journaling with your voice. So see if that helps you slow down and take time for you and your feelings. Often we respond to our feelings in the same way that the adults around us responded to them when we were growing up. So if the adults around us shamed us or sent us to our room, or punished us or neglected us or just ignored us, then we will do the same thing. We will have an internalized parent inside of us. And that is what healing is about, really. It's about reparenting your inner child in a different way. And if you follow my work, then you'll learn how to do that if this is all new to you. So it says, if you isolate yourself or push your feelings down and ignore them, you know where that comes from. And it's up to you now to break that pattern by doing the complete opposite. So if you are SOS Suzie or Nora Newbie, let me know in the comments below. Or you might be timid Theresa. You've been journaling for years on and off. You're not confident it's working or that you're doing it right, and you want your handwriting to look neat, and besides you're obsessed with stationery, you can't help buying all those lovely fresh new notebooks that you see on offer in Paper Chase. And how many times do you start a journal and never finish it? If you buy one of my journaling courses, I guarantee you will finish it. It's so easy and straightforward, and it makes you feel good. It makes you feel good. So I've said, if that's you, visit my Etsy shop and check out all my beautiful journals. I've got a Daisy range, which comes in 4 different colours: sunshine yellow, bubblegum pink, lovely lilac, and I think it's hazy purple or purple haze. It's dark purple anyway. And I've also got a tarot card range. So if you like journaling with the tarot cards, it's got space for you to put the cards in, and then you write underneath them. But all of my journals contain 5 essential journal prompts that will keep you focused and on track. And they're all based around self-care. So it doesn't really matter how it looks. You don't need to do it perfectly, because you're writing for you. You're not writing for other people, which means you must write unedited and get messy with your thoughts and feelings if you want to move beyond them. So I just feel like timid Theresa is a bit of a recovering perfectionist. She spends a lot of time up in her head going, am I doing it right? Which means she's not in her body. And journaling's great for her, because journaling takes you in through the head, and then eventually you will drop down into the body and feel the feelings. And then it said, I'd also like to invite you to my free class, Journaling Your Jammies, because you're not alone. Anyone can sign up for Journaling Your Jammies. Look, it's there on the website. If you click on it, you just pop in your details and I will send the class to you, and it's free. Are you? Oh, so let me know if you're a timid Theresa. By the way, there's no shame or judgment in any of these archetypes. They're actually just for fun, so that we can identify the parts of ourselves. And you may identify with one or more of the archetypes, so that's okay. It's just helping you go, okay, that's kind of where I need to go into that, or that's where I could have a look at that. It's just a tool to help you find a place to start with your journaling adventures. So are you, number 4, Poppy Le Pro? You journal every day and you love it. You love the sense of freedom in letting the words tumble out onto an empty page. Your journal holds all your uncomfortable feelings and frees up more space in your mind to focus on what matters to you. As you write, you get absolute clarity in what you need to do next. That'll be your intuition kicking in, or your higher self, your wise owl, whatever you want to call it, your spirit, your soul. And you're so grateful that you found this simple and brilliant tool to keep you focused and positive about your life. Since you've been journaling, you've noticed how much your creativity has flourished. You love writing poems and stories, and you hope to realise your dream of writing a book or becoming a blogger. So you absolutely are into it. You are Poppy Le Pro. And my journaling tip for you is, I love how you're using your journal to access your creative and intuitive gifts, which all wild hearts have. Highly sensitive people are blessed with razor sharp intuition and beautiful creative gifts. We're often creative problem solvers. We think outside the box, and our brains can see things in full colour, and we go to places in our minds that other people would only dream of going to. If you wanted to take it one step further, I'd love to help you realise your dreams of becoming a professional writer. Check out my one-to-one coaching packages and let's make that happen today. I've got one which is a self-love journaling package. And I've also got Right to Heal. So Right to Heal is about getting your story out, which is great if you do want to write a book or memoir. But it's also just about taking what's inside of you that needs to come out, because we've all got a story to tell. And if you've seen on here, there is a video called The Healing Power of Storytelling, I think it's called. It's got a friend's thumbnail on it, and it uses friends as an example of how healing comfort TV and storytelling is when you're healing. So check that video out as well. So let me know if you're Popular Pro. If we've got any Popular Pros here, I'd like to hear from you. If you are Avoidant Amy, you know you need to do it, but you'd rather descale your kettle. Or I hear you there. It's so hard to find the time to sit down and enjoy a little quiet time to yourself. I know how much you love to help others and how you take all your responsibilities very seriously. Your life is busy and full. When the day is done, you just want to chill. You usually spend what little free time you have watching Netflix or scrolling through social media on your phone. Even though your life is full, it doesn't feel fulfilling. It's meeting everybody else's needs. What about yours? That's what I was saying at the beginning about not putting yourself first. And the thing is with that is the reason I bring myself to my journal first thing in the morning is because if I leave it too late in the day, it just doesn't get done. So my helpful journal prompt for you, Avoidant Amy, is why am I putting everybody before myself? Why am I avoiding myself? What am I afraid of? And it is an avoidance of self. But again, as I said before, we've been taught to do that by our parents. We find our feelings scary and overwhelming. We may even find our thoughts scary and overwhelming. But remember, thoughts aren't facts. They're just thoughts. And we can think the most horrible, intrusive thoughts in our minds. I've had awful thoughts in my mind. But that doesn't mean that they're real, and that doesn't mean that you're a bad person. So have a scroll through my summer rambles on the podcast and find the one called Just One and see if that helps you shift your energy. You also would really enjoy my 30-day journaling experience called You Got the Love, which will give you the structure, the confidence and the daily motivation to journal. You have to take the first step and want that for yourself. It is safe for you to put yourself first. Yeah, I think that's the thing with all of this going on a journaling adventure. You have to want to do it. Like, if it doesn't feel like it's your thing, don't force it, because there might be something else for you that you want to do. But if you're listening to this and it's really resonating with you and you're thinking, oh yeah, I'd really like to give it a try, then please do, because there's something in that for you. So, number 6, Messy Maureen. You're all over the place and your inner rebel screams, don't put me in a box. I will not be categorised by this stupid quiz. You've got piles of paper everywhere that are full of your scribbles, thoughts and ideas. Only thing is, all those amazing things you write never see the light of day and they are wasted in there. You are holding yourself back by not making something more concrete of your creativity. It's time to stop playing small. So creatives are messy. The creative process is messy. Healing mirrors the creative process, which is incredibly messy. There's no perfect way to do any of this. I think we just have to let go of perfectionism and let go of the word mistakes and just know that everything we do has a purpose, has a reason for it. And often I find, even though it's annoying and sometimes painful and crazy making, that when things don't turn out the way that they're meant to, when you look back on them, you can go, oh my God, if that had happened, I wouldn't be where I am now. Like I didn't go to university because I didn't get the right A-level results. And at the time I was crushed, although I was kind of losing the will to live at that point in my life. And if I had gone to university, I wouldn't be here talking to you now. I was born to be an entrepreneur because I am a creative thinker and I think outside the box. And I was going to go to university and read business studies with French and German, which were my languages. And that just wasn't me at all. It wasn't me at all. So my journaling tip for Messy Maureen is put everything together in one place. Use one notebook that you carry around with you all the time, or you can use the notes pages of your phone. But again, there's something for me in that pen to paper. I have got an iPad and an Apple pen. And All of my online courses have got journals, downloadable journals in them for you to upload to a tablet and write in. But there's nothing to stop you printing them out if you want to write on them. I remember when we did the 30-day journaling experience called You've Got the Love, and one of the lovely Wildhearts, Anne-Marie, got her journal printed at the printers and bound, and it looked stunning. It was great. So, whatever floats your boat. Schedule a monthly date in your diary where you stop and sit down to go through all your genius scribbles. See if there's a pattern or something for you to know. Maybe you're seeing that your soul is trying to tell you something and you're sabotaging yourself by not fully listening. All those fragmented scribbles will be super powerful when they come together. Yeah, they really will. That is kind of like crystallizing the creative process. I used to be like that. I'd have like post-it notes. I mean, at the moment I'm sitting here, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 8 notebooks on my desk, but they've all got jobs. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've actually got 9, including my diary. I've got a paper diary. I'm old school. Right. So let me know in the comments below if you're a messy Maureen. Again, no shame, no shade, no judgment here. Or are you a demotivated Daisy? You know what to do, but it's just a case of getting around to doing it. You've got good intentions, but you've got to be in the mood, and that's not always easy for you. You're battling against daily anxiety and a busy brain that doesn't have an off switch. You get caught up in your head and you can't quite bring yourself to the page. You worry, what if I do it wrong? What if I write something that I don't want to have to deal with right now? My journaling tip for you, Demotivated Daisy, is check out my 30-day journaling experience, You've Got the Love, which will give you the guidance, confidence and daily motivation for journaling. Every day there is a visual and audio prompt which will help you dissolve your anxiety and also connect you to your intuition. This is where your self-trust lives and your higher self, which is like an all-knowing wise owl. Ask yourself this question, Demotivated Daisy. Are you going to spend all your day worrying about why you haven't done it and then beating yourself up for not doing it? Or are you going to use your time wisely and transmute that negative overthinking energy into words on the page? You really can channel it through onto the page, and once it's on the page and out of you, you will feel much lighter. And honestly, when people used to come to Journaling Your Jammies when we ran it as a live workshop, it was just so lovely to see people getting ahas and insights and letting go of things that they'd been carrying around for years. You got to let it go. I guess we all let it go when we're ready, don't we? It says, you get to choose how you feel. You have the power to change it. Focus on how proud and good you feel after you've done it. Yes, it's almost like saying, I know I'm going to feel better when I've done it. So I need to sit down and do it. And it's about loving yourself enough to kind of take care of yourself in that way. So when I asked my journaling community what were the scores on the doors, drum roll, ta-da, it was a 50-50 split between Demotivated Daisy and Avoidant Amy. So I'll be interested to see in the comments, like we can have a look and see what you all are here and see if it is a split between those two or if it's something different now. And I've said we're not judging or shaming anyone here. I wanted to get insight into how it was for my lovely journaling community so I could help them create a consistent and healing journal practice. It's no coincidence that I was both Demotivated Daisy and Amy before I became Popular Pro. And I still have my days where I slip back into Daisy and Amy and I don't beat myself up for it. I just go, oh, that's one of those days. Try again tomorrow. Removing your journal blocks. It took me years to get there and a lot of consistent love, effort and time to maintain. What helped me most was understanding what was happening in my inner world and learning how to regulate my nervous system. When you're in survival mode, which is fight, flight, freeze or fawn, one of those 4 trauma responses, you will avoid yourself, feel demotivated and reluctant to bring yourself to your journal because trauma breaks the connection between you and you, and the way back to you is by sitting down and being with yourself and being with that inner world and not being afraid of it and creating the space to sit with all your feelings. It's not about trying to get rid of the feelings, it's about being able to sit with them. And people find that really hard. And when I used to work with kids, parents used to say to me, but they're really anxious, but they cry every time they speak to you. And I'm like, tell me why that's bad. Tell me why you think that's bad. And so that parent thinks that if that kid isn't happy all the time, that they're doing a bad job, they're making it about them, and that they're not doing it right, when actually that kid is just needing to cry. That child is just feeling worried about something. That child is just being human. So what did you learn? I really want you to become more aware of what's stopping you from being with your journal, aka being with yourself. Yikes, that's it. You aren't making time for or prioritizing yourself. No matter what reasons you're giving, there isn't one that's good enough, because you deserve more. You're worth getting to know. It's time to slow down and take better care of yourself, even if it's just to have a cup of tea and write 2 lines a day. Baby steps. And that's how we change unhealthy coping patterns that keep us from being with ourselves. You're worth more. When we make time for ourselves and treat ourselves like we're worth taking care of, our life changes. Other people start treating us better too. Your relationship with yourself is the most important one. When you love yourself, it ripples out into all areas of your life, your relationships, your finances, and your emotional and mental well-being. And then it says, want to take your journaling to the next level? If, like me, you love journaling as a powerful tool for self-development and personal growth, check out my journal starter kit. So there's tons and tons of really helpful stuff in there. And I'd love to know what resonates with you. Let me know your journaling archetype. And I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.